Hey guys, it's Alexis, aka The Soft Reader, and I'm here today to do my May book haul. So despite my moving, I acquired quite a few books in the month of May, but I feel like all of these kind of have a little story about them or whatever, but yeah. Let's just go ahead and get into it. The first book I'm going to mention I actually didn't buy in May. It was the only book I purchased in April, which is why I didn't upload an April book haul. So I figured since I only bought this one book, I would just lump it in together with this book haul. So the one book I bought in April was The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year. This is Albertalli's second book, her first being Simon vs. the Homo sapiens Agenda, which I adored. This is about our main character, Molly, who has had 26 unrequited crushes, and it's basically about her twin sister, Cassie, I think her name is in like a pretty committed, serious relationship with a girl, and this girlfriend has a friend that Molly kind of makes a connection with. And that's pretty much all I know about it so far, but I've heard a lot of really great things about this one, with some of the plus-sized rep and some of the Jewish representation in it. And I've heard Molly is just a really super relatable character, so I'm super excited to pick this one up. The next book I purchased was a brand new May release, and it's one of my also most anticipated releases of the year, and that's Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. This is the third and final book in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. This follows our main character, Lara Jean, who basically writes letters to the boys that she's had like crushes on before, and she writes these letters and she basically gets all of her feelings out, and then she puts them in a hat box in her closet, and it's like the end of her crush. Well, one day her letters all get mailed out to the previous boys she's written them about, and she basically has to confront these boys to deal with the letters that she's written. So this is the third book, and I'm so excited for it. And this is the Target exclusive edition, so this is the edition that you get at Target. And this one, I wanted this specific edition. Each kind of big box seller has their own, but I wanted this one because this one comes with, no spoilers. So this one comes with like a playlist that Jenny Han wrote, and it also has a list of like dessert recipes that would be like if Lara Jean, you know, she bakes a lot, so it's like recipes that Lara Jean would herself bake. So those two things really interested me more than the other content that came in the other exclusive editions. So yes, I went ahead and got this one at Target, and I'm so excited. The next book I purchased I also got at Target for a very specific reason, because it also has something exclusive about it, and that is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. And this is a brand new release, but as you can see it's in paperback. That's something that was exclusive to Target. That Target didn't have the hardback version, they actually had the paperback version, which I wanted because I wanted to read this book, but I really didn't want to pay full price for a hardcover. So I saw this for much cheaper at Target in a paperback, and I was like, perfect. This is basically like a YA You've Got Mail retelling, basically, which follows our main character Bailey as she like works in a movie theater, I want to say, and she basically meets this guy who she's been having like a correspondence with, but she doesn't realize that it's him. And it's basically about like he goes to work at her movie theater, and they basically have like a hate to love relationship, and it sounds really awesome. And you guys know I love cinema, and so I love it when books have like a cinema element to it, so I'm super excited to read this. The next book I also got at Target, but there's nothing exclusive about this one, and that is The 7 Ways We Lie by Riley Redgate. You guys know I read Noteworthy back in April and absolutely loved it, and this is Riley Redgate's first book, so I was super excited to check this one out. So this story basically follows a group of characters, the 7 of them obviously, as like a scandal has broken out in this high school about a teacher and a student relationship. And so it's about each of these characters and kind of, I guess, the role that they play in this scandal. And so I'm super excited to check this out. And I actually really like this cover, and I really liked Riley Redgate's other books, so I'm hoping I will love this one just as much. The next book I purchased when I had gone and sold back some of my old DVDs before I moved to my local secondhand store, and they had given me a little bit of a credit, and so I was like, okay, well, let me see what books they have that I would be interested in. And I found this one for a super cheap price, and I've pretty much heard some very good things about this book, but it's also, I don't know, I've heard it's kind of weird. So that is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. All I really know about this book is that it follows a brother and a sister, I believe, who fall in love and like have an affair. But I've heard that this book has like plot twists for days and that it's like kind of really shocking and stuff. So yes, people I definitely trust have said very good things about this one, so pretty excited. The next 3 books I got all at the same time, but I'll explain why. So basically, Book of the Month Club, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I will leave the link to their website down below. Book of the Month Club has this thing where every month they pick 5 selections that are like curated and then every month when you have a subscription you can choose which book that you want. They had this thing this past month that when you signed up for their 3-month subscription, you got a brand new release free on top of the 3-month subscription that you're getting. So the 3 books you're getting in those subscription boxes. So that automatically sounded like a really good deal because the particular book that they were giving away retails for like almost $30 and a 3-month subscription is basically 30 bucks. So I was getting basically 4 books for the price of what it would have cost me for this one, which is all rambling anyway, but I'm all about saving money and deals and stuff. So the book that you got free with the 3-month subscription was Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I read Girl on the Train last year and actually really enjoyed it, so I'm super interested to pick up this new Paula Hawkins book. Also, I love this cover. I think this cover is super pretty, and I'm intrigued to see how this relates to the story. I pretty much don't know anything about this thriller, but again, I like Paula Hawkins' other books, so I'm excited for this one. And so I also got to choose from the May selections in the Book of the Month Club, and one of the selections is one of my most anticipated releases for this year. So I was like, cool, I get a brand new Paula Hawkins book for free with a 3-month subscription, and I also am going to get one of the books I really was going to buy anyway. Which I essentially got for half the price I would have paid for it in store. So guys, I'm really loving Book of the Month Club right now. And that is The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. This is basically about a futuristic society where there is like a spy school that trains 2 different types of spies. They train like the bad guy, like the bad boys, and then the like boy next door good guys. And basically these 2 spies are sent after one target who's like the son or daughter of a famous person, and they're basically meant to woo this diplomat's daughter or whatever, so that they can spy on her. And so it's about these 2 guys competing for the love of this one girl in like a spy type-esque setting, but along the way the 2 guys fall in love. So that sounds, and I've heard that this book just really flips, it's very much meant to be satirical for the YA genre, and I'm definitely super interested to check it out, and I really like this cover because you guys know red, black, white is like a perfect combination in my opinion. So the next book I'm going to mention I also got when I was on my Book of the Month kick, and basically I discovered that Book of the Month will sell their past selections for like $9.99. So you can get these really nice hardback selections that they still have in stock for $9.99, which is typically much less than the retail price they sell for in store, which again, I'm totally blown away by. So I saw that they still had copies of this one particular book that I've been meaning to pick up for months now, and I got it for a fantastic price, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I'm not sure how well this is going to pick up on camera because it's really super bright. But this basically tells the story of our main character who has a really nice life. He has a wife he loves, he has a son he loves, he has a job as a university professor that he absolutely loves. And so basically one day something happens and he wakes up to realize that his life is completely different. That he no longer has his wife, he no longer has his job, he no longer has his son, and so basically he has to figure out what happened. And I know that this is science fiction and that it deals a lot with, I think, multiverse, but it sounds super cool, and I've heard that this book like just totally blows your mind. So yeah, I'm super excited to pick this one up. The next book I picked up like literally right before I moved because I had heard some good things about it and I was like, I have to have it. And that is Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy. It's Jane Lindsay, who I will link to down below. It's one of my favorite booktubers. One of the reasons I really like her as a booktuber is because we both kind of have a very similar Southern upbringing, which is kind of what this book has a lot to do with. This book follows our main character, Ramona, who comes from a very, very small town on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, and she basically has like always dreamed of wanting to leave, but it's not exactly presenting itself as a real possibility to her as she's finishing high school. And basically, she's always identified as being a lesbian, and then one day an old friend of hers, Freddie, moves back into town, and she gets to know Freddie a lot more as they've become different people since he's moved away. And she basically finds herself having feelings for Freddie, which leads her on a journey to kind of really look at her sexuality a little bit more in depth. I just heard that the small town, the like small southern Gulf Coast aspect of the story is just so accurate and on point. And considering that that is something I absolutely know about, I'm very excited to see how this book handles that. The last book I'm going to mention is an ARC I received this month, and I have to be honest and say, first and foremost, that I'm really, really excited about it. And secondly, I was not expecting this ARC. I had requested it, I think at the end of March, early beginning of April, and I never got a confirmation from the publisher or the author or anything like that saying that I had received an ARC, that they were going to send me an ARC. You know, I never got a notice saying that, so I just assumed I didn't, you know, I wasn't approved for it. So then I had put the shipping address as my parents' address while I was in move so it wouldn't get shipped to the wrong place. So I moved in and my mom was like, hey, you have some packages, and I was like, oh cool, because I thought she just meant my book of the month box. And then I came and saw this package and I was like, what is this? I was like, I didn't buy anything else. I was like, I don't know what this could possibly be. And I opened it, and as soon as I was opening it, it like occurred to me. I was like, oh my gosh, is this what I think it is? And I got an ARC of it, and I was so excited. I'm so excited. And that is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, Retribution Rails by Erin Bowman. This is the companion to Vengeance Road, which, if you guys have been on my channel, was one of my favorite books of last year. It made me realize I have an absolute love of Westerns I didn't know I had. I really loved it. I loved the characters, I loved the story, and the cover, obviously. I mean, you guys can see this is a phenomenal cover. So I was so excited. I didn't expect to get it because I didn't know I was approved for it, but I was approved for it and now I have it. I'm so excited. I'm sorry I'm just gushing, but like literally every time I look at it on my bookshelf, I get so excited. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out until November, so it being June, I don't want to read it yet. I want to wait closer to the release date, which is killing me because the release date isn't until November. So like, I'm so excited, but at the same time, I'm in so much pain because I have to wait. But I would like to say a huge thank you to Erin Bowman and to Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, which is a very, very difficult thing to say. Huge thank you to them for sending me an ARC of Retribution Rails. I cannot wait to get into this and let you guys know what I think. Alright guys, so those were all of the books I got in May. Super excited about every single one of them. I have heard pretty much good things about all of them, and I just can't wait to get into some of these. You guys should let me know down below what you bought in May or what was your most exciting purchase in May, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!